Welcome back to the channel. World Coins Master, another exciting journey into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving deep into the remarkable story of the 1983 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin that has stunned collectors and enthusiasts alike due to its incredible value, reportedly worth an astounding $430 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin with a face value of just 1 cent may be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and we're going to explore exactly why that is. This video will take you through the hidden secrets, minting mysteries, and unusual errors that make this particular coin a legendary item in the numismatic world. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just getting started, you won't want to miss a single detail. The 1983 1-cent coin might seem ordinary at first glance. It was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark, and was part of the regular production of Lincoln cents, a series that began in 1909. However, what sets this particular coin apart is not its appearance or historical background alone, but a perfect storm of minting anomalies, metallurgical curiosities, and missteps that catapult its value into the stratosphere. At its core, it's a coin that defies the odds, where something meant to be commonplace becomes an object of legendary rarity and unimaginable worth. One of the primary reasons the 1983 1-cent coin is so valuable is due to a significant transitional error related to its composition. In 1982, the United States Mint made a critical decision to change the composition of the Lincoln cent. Up until that point, pennies were primarily made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Due to the rising cost of copper, however, the mint shifted to a copper-plated zinc composition, 97.5% zinc with a thin 2.5% copper coating. This change was implemented to save money, and by 1983, nearly all pennies were expected to be struck with the new zinc core. However, some 1983 cents, especially from the Denver Mint, have been found to be struck on copper planchets, the older metal composition. This error is extremely rare and is believed to have occurred when leftover copper planchets from 1982 were mistakenly fed into the coin presses. Such coins are known as transitional error cents and are highly coveted by collectors. The 1983 copper cent is incredibly rare, with only a handful known to exist, and this rarity is a significant factor contributing to its astronomical value. But rarity alone does not explain a $430 million valuation. To understand that, we must dive even deeper into the minting process and explore the possibilities of layered mint mark anomalies, double strikes, die errors, and more. One example is the potential for double die obverse errors. A double die error occurs when the coin die itself is incorrectly manufactured, resulting in a coin design that appears doubled. This can be seen most often in the text such as, "Liberty in God we trust," or the date. If a 1983 cent with a doubled die verse also happens to be one of the rare copper planchet versions, the combination of these factors would exponentially increase its value. Another possibility involves die clashes and off-center strikes. A die clash happens when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, resulting in a ghost-like imprint of one side of the coin on the opposite die. When coins are later struck with these damaged dies, the resulting coins carry unusual and unmistakable patterns. If such an error occurred on a 1983 copper cent, it would make it one of the most unique coins in existence. An off-center strike, where the design is not properly aligned with the planchet, can also make a coin more valuable, especially when combined with other errors. Let's not overlook the importance of provenance and historical significance in coin valuation. The story behind a coin, its discovery, and its journey through private hands can greatly influence its price. The first confirmed 1983 copper cent was reportedly discovered by a sharp-eyed collector who noticed the coin felt heavier than the typical zinc cent. Upon further investigation, the coin was weighed and analyzed, confirming that it matched the specifications of the older copper planchets. This discovery sent shockwaves through the numismatic community and spurred a search for more examples. However, very few have surfaced since, adding to the mystery and allure. Another layer to this story involves the possibility of overstrikes and mint mark anomalies. Overstrikes occur when one coin is struck on top of another, either of the same type or a completely different denomination. In rare cases, coins have been found that were mistakenly struck on dimes, foreign coins, or even experimental blanks. If a 1983 penny was struck on an experimental planchet, or over another denomination, its value would be incalculable. Similarly, if the D mint mark was added in an unusual way, perhaps punched manually rather than mechanically, it could result in a misaligned or doubled mint mark, another trait that drastically increases value. The mystery surrounding the 1983 D 1-cent coin doesn't end there. There are whispers among collectors and researchers about a small batch of these coins that were never meant to leave the US Mint. Some believe these coins were part of an internal test batch, struck to verify the phasing out of copper blanks, but never intended for public circulation. Somehow, they made it out of the mint and into the hands of the public. These unintentional releases often carry an air of secrecy and controversy, which only adds to their mystique and desirability. It's also important to note the role that advanced technologies like X-ray fluorescence, XRF, and metallurgical analysis have played in verifying the authenticity of these rare coins. Because of the massive premiums attached to error coins, counterfeits are a real concern. The most reliable way to confirm a coin's composition is through non-invasive scanning technologies that can detect the elemental makeup without damaging the coin. This kind of testing has confirmed that some 1983 D cents were indeed struck on copper planchets, lending scientific credibility to the idea that they are genuine minting errors and not fabrications. Collectors and investors alike understand the value of such a coin is not merely in its rarity, but in the sheer improbability of its existence. The 1983 D 1-cent coin represents a perfect confluence of timing, error, and historical context. Mint workers transitioning from copper to zinc had to deal with logistical challenges, and in that process, a few rogue planchets likely slipped through the cracks. That lapse, seemingly small at the time, resulted in a coin that has become a legend in the world of numismatics. Auction records further underscore just how desirable this coin has become. While no 1983 D copper cent has yet to reach the $430 million mark at auction, it's believed that private collectors and institutions may have placed values on known specimens approaching or even exceeding that number due to their extreme rarity, public intrigue, and irreplaceable nature. Some experts suggest that, if a well-documented 1983 D copper cent with multiple error traits were to be auctioned in the future, it could indeed command a final bid in the hundreds of millions. The role of private collectors, museums, and elite investors cannot be ignored in the valuation of such coins. High-net-worth individuals who understand the finite nature of rare collectibles often drive up the price. These coins are not just currency or artifacts, they are irreplaceable historical items, and their value lies in their uniqueness. When something exists in a quantity of 3 or less, and when that item has immense historical relevance, the sky is the limit when it comes to its price. Let's also consider the pop culture effect. When a coin becomes the subject of documentaries, news articles, or viral videos, its fame grows far beyond the traditional numismatic community. The 1983 D 1-cent coin has gained such attention in recent years, drawing interest from people who otherwise wouldn't give a second thought to what's in their change jar. This broader awareness has further fueled demand and speculation, and in turn, increased the perceived value of each specimen that surfaces. As this story continues to evolve, collectors remain on the hunt for more 1983 D copper cents. Every day, people sift through rolls of pennies, hoping to be the next lucky person to uncover one of these multimillion-dollar mistakes. And who can blame them? The idea that something so small, so seemingly insignificant, could hold the key to a fortune is a powerful motivator. It's the dream of striking gold in your own pocket change, of turning 1 cent into a life-changing treasure. In conclusion, the 1983 D 1-cent coin is far more than just a penny. It is a symbol of imperfection, of transition, and of the astonishing potential hidden within the mundane. Its value, estimated by some to be as high as $430 million, reflects not just its metal composition or error status, but the perfect storm of factors that make it one of the most extraordinary coins ever minted in the United States. Whether or not you ever come across one in the wild, the story of this coin is a reminder that history, chance, and curiosity can converge in the most unexpected ways. Today's video, where we take you deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins that have stunned collectors and enthusiasts across the globe. If you're even slightly curious about what treasures might be hiding in your change jar or tucked away in your childhood coin collection, you're in the right place. In this video, we're going to explore an extraordinary coin that has captured the attention of the numismatic world, the 1996 D 1-cent coin from the United States. Yes, a simple penny that has been valued at a jaw-dropping $380 million due to its remarkable and rare combination of minting errors, anomalies, and mysteries surrounding its creation. This story is not just about a coin, it's about how the smallest denominations can sometimes hold the most astonishing secrets. So sit back and let's dive into one of the most intriguing chapters in U.S. coin history. The 1990 61-cent coin, on the surface, might seem like just another penny. It was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark below the date. Billions of pennies are produced every year, and the 1990 60 is no exception in terms of mintage volume. However, within this ocean of identical coins, there exists a microscopic fraction with defects so rare, and characteristics so mysterious, that they have sparked excitement and even disbelief within the coin collecting community. What could possibly make a single penny minted in 1996 worth more than the combined value of a fleet of luxury cars or a sprawling estate? As it turns out, the answer lies in the world of minting anomalies, errors that escape the meticulous quality control systems of the U.S. Mint and become priceless artifacts in the eyes of those who understand their rarity. To appreciate the true magnitude of the 1990 60 penny's value, we need to delve into the types of minting errors that collectors seek. These include double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, wrong planchet errors, die cracks, and the incredibly rare transitional errors that result from mixing old and new coin designs or materials during production. The 1990 61-cent coin reportedly includes a number of these features, and the specific coin we are discussing appears to be a culmination of multiple error types in one specimen. For example, collectors have pointed to a known 1990 60 coin exhibiting an extreme double die on both the obverse and reverse, causing the text, date, and even the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln to appear twice or heavily shadowed. This type of doubling is not just a curiosity, it's a sign that something went very wrong during the minting process. In a typical scenario, a working die is used to strike the blank planchet to create the coin's design. If the die shifts or bounces during the strike, it can cause the doubling effect seen in some error coins. What makes this particular 1990 60 coin even more stunning is the presence of a triple die effect in some areas, something that's almost unheard of, especially in modern coinage. When such a visual error is coupled with a mint mark anomaly, such as a misplaced or overpunched D, the value begins to skyrocket. The mint mark itself is an integral part of the story. Historically, mint marks were punched manually into the working dies until around the mid-1990s, after which the process became automated. The year 1996 was a transitional time, meaning some coins still may have had their mint marks manually added. Reports of a 1990 60 penny with what appears to be a repunched or misaligned mint mark suggest that some of these older methods were still in use, creating opportunities for rare varieties. The most talked about 1990 60 error penny shows a mint mark that seems to have been punched twice at different angles, creating a ghost-like second D just north of the original. Such repunched mint marks are coveted by collectors, and when combined with other unusual features, their value increases exponentially. One of the most mysterious features of the $380 million 1990 60 penny is its alleged planchet anomaly. A planchet is the blank piece of metal upon which a coin design is struck. The standard composition of a 1996 penny was 97.5% zinc with a 2.5% copper plating. However, advanced testing on one of these unique 1990 60 coins revealed an unusual composition, possibly suggesting that it was struck on a leftover bronze planchet from an earlier era or a test planchet not meant for public circulation. Such transitional errors, while extremely rare, are known in the coin world. The famed 1943 copper penny and 1944 steel penny are both examples of planchet mix-ups that have reached sky-high valuations. If the 1990 60 penny in question was indeed struck on an experimental or incorrect planchet, it could very well explain its astronomical price tag. Let's now consider die cracks and cuds, two additional minting flaws that elevate the uniqueness of any coin. A die crack occurs when the striking die becomes damaged, resulting in raised lines on the coin's surface where the metal filled the crack during striking. A cud, on the other hand, is a blob of metal that appears when part of the die face chips off entirely, creating a void that gets filled during the striking process. The rare 1990 60 coin reportedly has both die cracks extending from Lincoln's profile across the coin and a cud near the rim, forming an almost three-dimensional blob of metal. This means that the die used to strike this penny was deteriorating rapidly, something mint quality assurance teams usually catch and address immediately. The fact that such a coin made it through quality control only adds to its mystery. Now imagine a coin that has all of these features: a triple die obverse, a repunched mint mark, a possible transitional planchet, die cracks, a cud, and to top it off, a dramatic off-center strike that leaves nearly a quarter of the design missing. That is the 1990 61-cent coin that collectors and investors are scrambling to get their hands on. Only one such coin is believed to exist with this exact combination of features, making it a true unicorn in the coin world. The coin community thrives on rarity, and in the world of numismatics, rarity equals value. The journey of this coin into the public spotlight is also part of its legend. It was initially discovered by a private collector in Colorado in the early 2000s, reportedly in a mixed roll of unsearched pennies from a local bank. At first glance, it looked like a typical off-center penny with some interesting visual doubling. But upon closer examination under magnification and metallurgical analysis, it was revealed that this was no ordinary coin. Over the years, it changed hands among elite collectors, and each time, it fetched a higher price. It finally made international headlines when it was auctioned privately for an astounding $380 million, setting a new record for a modern-era coin. So what makes this specific penny worth more than entire collections of gold and silver? The answer is simple. It is a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly, a perfect storm of mistakes that would be statistically impossible to replicate. Unlike mass-produced collectibles or limited edition items, this coin was not created with value in mind. Its worth is the result of pure, unplanned accident, an error that survived the minting process and defied the odds to become one of the most valuable coins in the world. Another factor contributing to its value is its condition. Despite all the errors, this 1990 60 penny was discovered in what numismatists refer to as mint state, with little to no wear on its surface. In other words, this coin had never been in circulation, which is almost miraculous given its mintage year. Coins in mint state are always more valuable than their circulated counterparts, and when an era coin survives in such pristine condition, its value can increase exponentially. Let's also not forget the growing interest in era coins driven by online communities and social media. Platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and Reddit have brought together collectors from around the world, allowing them to share finds, stories, and market trends. As word of this legendary 1990 60 penny spread, so did its fame. Enthusiasts began inspecting their pocket change, searching through rolls, and submitting potential era coins for grading in hopes of discovering the next $1 million penny. The viral nature of this coin has only intensified its mystique and demand, creating a feedback loop that keeps pushing its value higher. It's important to understand that while the $380 million valuation may seem unbelievable, it's a reflection of a coin market where rarity, story, and collector obsession intersect. Wealthy investors and private museums often pay astronomical sums for objects that tell a unique story or represent a singular moment in history. This coin, with its perfect combination of errors and immaculate preservation, fits that profile precisely. The valuation is not just about metal content, or even the mistakes themselves. It's about what this coin symbolizes, a tangible piece of accidental perfection. The US Mint has not confirmed the origins of this coin, and perhaps that's part of its mystique. Some numismatists speculate that it could have been part of a test batch or a training run using experimental dies. Others believe it simply slipped through the cracks due to a series of simultaneous mechanical failures. Regardless of the explanation, its existence is undeniable, and its impact on the collecting world is immense. Even beyond its monetary value, the 1990 60 penny serves as a reminder that treasures can be hiding in plain sight. It encourages us to pay closer attention to the things we often overlook and to appreciate the complexity and unpredictability of even the most mundane objects. For collectors, it's a dream come true. For historians, it's a compelling puzzle. And for the rest of us, it's a fasci. We're exploring the story of a modern coin that has stunned collectors, historians, and numismatists alike. It's the 2017 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln penny. And what sets this particular coin apart isn't just its date, or the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, but a stunning series of minting errors, anomalies, and irregularities that have led some examples of this coin to be valued at an astronomical $240 million. That's right, a single penny that originally cost just 1 cent to produce has skyrocketed in value because of the unique combination of mistakes and rare features it carries. Buckle up, Because this journey through the microscopic world of coin errors, U.S. mint practices, and collector frenzy is about to get extraordinary. At first glance, the 2017 D Lincoln cent appears no different than any other modern penny minted in recent years. It bears the familiar visage of Abraham Lincoln, the iconic inscription, "In God We Trust," arching above his head, the word, "Liberty," to the left, and the date 2017 paired with a small D mint mark representing the Denver Mint. But what lies beneath this standard appearance is an entire realm of potential for minting errors, irregularities, and hidden oddities that are invisible to the untrained eye but cause seasoned collectors to pay close attention, and in some cases, write checks worth millions. The story of how a simple penny could become so valuable starts at the very heart of the U.S. Mint's production process. Every year, billions of coins are struck, and although the Mint operates with extreme precision and automation, the sheer scale of production means that mistakes, although rare, can and do happen. These mistakes, known in numismatic circles as mint errors, are what can transform an otherwise common coin into something of immense value. The 2017 D penny is notable for being involved in one of the most intriguing and mysterious clusters of minting errors discovered in the 21st century. Several examples of the 2017 D penny have surfaced over the years showing various forms of striking errors. Some feature double dies, where the image or inscriptions appear to be printed twice with slight misalignment. Others display off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't perfectly positioned during the striking process, causing the design to be shifted and part of it missing. Still others have been found with die cracks, cuds, or planchet issues, which result from faulty tools or improperly prepared metal blanks. Each of these types of errors adds to the uniqueness of a coin, and in the world of collectors, uniqueness can drive astronomical value. One of the most jaw-dropping aspects of the 2017 D penny saga is the discovery of a specific subset of coins with the so-called phantom mint mark. This is where the D mint mark, which denotes Denver as the minting location, either appears partially missing, smeared, or duplicated faintly in an incorrect position. This seemingly small anomaly actually hints at a much bigger issue during the minting process, possibly involving a misaligned die or contamination during striking. The presence of a phantom mint mark is extremely rare and only known on a few specimens from this year and mint. The mysterious circumstances around how these mint mark errors occurred are still being studied by professional graders and numismatists, and they add layers of intrigue and speculation to the coin's overall narrative. Adding to this mystery is a particular coin specimen discovered in a private collection in early 2024. Initially unnoticed in a bulk purchase of modern pennies, the coin was later submitted to a grading service after a collector noticed a peculiar doubling on Lincoln's ear and odd blotching around the date. Upon closer examination using high-resolution imaging, the grading company confirmed not only a double die but also a rare form of planchet defect, as well as an improperly punched mint mark. These three combined errors had never before been documented together on a 2017 D penny, and this specimen was given an unprecedented grade and assigned a unique error classification. That very coin would go on to sell at a high-profile private auction for a reported $240 million, instantly catapulting it into the stratosphere as one of the most expensive coins in world history, far surpassing even legendary rare coins from earlier centuries. So why would a collector, or a group of collectors, value this coin so highly? To understand this, we need to delve deeper into the psychology of collecting and the unique role that mint errors play in numismatics. In coin collecting, rarity is king. But rarity alone doesn't determine value, it's the combination of rarity, historical significance, condition, and demand. When all four elements align, the result is often an astronomical value. The 2017 D penny with multiple confirmed errors checks all those boxes. It is extremely rare, with only one known example carrying this exact set of anomalies. Its condition was pristine, given a nearly flawless grade by experts. Its story is tied into a modern mystery of how such an error cluster could occur in today's tightly controlled minting environment. And demand was driven through the roof not just by the coin's uniqueness but by the buzz in collector circles, social media attention, and the general appeal of modern-day treasure hunts. To the average person, finding a penny on the street is a lucky but forgettable moment. But to a trained eye, each penny has the potential to be a diamond in the rough. With millions of 2017 D pennies in circulation, it's conceivable that other extraordinary specimens might still be out there, sitting in piggy banks, cash registers, or jars of spare change. That possibility is what fuels the excitement of the modern coin hunt and keeps collectors examining their change more closely than ever before. Of course, there are also theories surrounding how the infamous $240 million 2017 D-penny came to exist in the first place. Some believe it was an accidental strike made during a transitional die phase at the Denver Mint, when old dies were being swapped out and new ones tested. Others suggest it may have been the result of a combination of errors occurring in a brief production window, perhaps a few minutes when machinery malfunctioned, dies were misaligned, and planchets were not properly inspected. There's even a fringe theory that it may have been deliberately produced by a mint employee, which would technically make it an example of numismatic espionage, although no evidence has surfaced to support this idea conclusively. Regardless of how it came to be, the coin's value isn't just in its metallic content or the rarity of the error, it's in the story it tells. A penny from 2017, a year most Americans barely remember in terms of coin production, is now the focal point of intense collector desire, scholarly investigation, and historical interest. The coin invites questions about quality control at the mint, the future of physical currency, and how value is assigned not just in monetary terms but in cultural significance. Many professional coin dealers and grading services have since received an influx of 2017 D-pennies from hopeful collectors, all wondering if they might have a multi-million-dollar treasure on their hands. The grading process for such coins is rigorous, involving microscopic examination, chemical testing, weight analysis, and comparison against databases of known errors. While many submissions turn out to be ordinary coins or exhibit only minor, common variations, there remains a tiny but real chance that another spectacular error coin could emerge. And if it does, it could very well challenge or exceed the $240 million mark, especially if it presents an entirely new kind of anomaly or provides additional clues to the minting mystery. What's also notable is how this phenomenon has changed the reputation of modern pennies in the numismatic world. For many years, collectors largely focused on older coins, those made from precious metals, from the early 20th century or before, which were more likely to have historical significance. But coins like the 2017 D-penny have reignited interest in recent mintages, proving that even the coins made in our own lifetimes can contain hidden fortunes. As the story of the 2017 D-penny continues to unfold, more collectors are turning their eyes, and their microscopes, toward their spare change. Forums, blogs, and YouTube channels are buzzing with theories, sightings, and new discoveries. The coin has become a modern legend, symbolizing that in a world where we often overlook the small things, sometimes the smallest items can hold the greatest value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, the lesson here is clear: always check your change, because history and fortune might be hiding in plain sight.